All right. This is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Me and my guest are having connectivity issues. He might hop on, but we might just have to reschedule. So, Ivan Anderholm, he is a Park and Rec director over in Lake Oswego, Oregon. Great guy. Got a lot of stuff going on. Can't wait to get him back on the show. We had a good talk and got a lot of other good guests coming up. Let me go ahead and actually, wait a minute. I am going to play one of our intros to kind of explain what we do here at the Daily Parks and Rec Show because I need to be doing this. All right, so let's see. Intro. Got all these media assets. That's career, intro, Trixie. Let's go with Chris's. I like his, right?
Welcome to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. As Craig LeBlanc from the Daily Parks and Recreation Show says, parks and recreation aren't just spaces, they're the soul of our communities. Across America, parks provide more than just a scenic escape. They're places where people connect, stay active, and create lasting memories. Parks promote physical health with trails, sports fields, and playgrounds while boosting mental well-being through the calming effects of nature. Recreation programs bring communities together, offering everything from fitness classes to cultural events. And as Craig often highlights, parks also play a key role in protecting the environment and driving local economies by attracting visitors and increasing property values. Whether it's a family picnic, a weekend hike, or simply enjoying the outdoors, parks and recreation are where life happens. Want to dive deeper into the stories behind America's parks? Tune in to the Daily Parks and Recreation Show with Craig LeBlanc for inspiring insights, tips, and updates about the spaces that bring us all together.
All right, so we are back. That is, hold on. He is saying, I've been saying he's having connectivity issues, so let me just respond to that. I'll be in touch with him after. So tech issues never end. If you're doing a podcast, if you're doing live performances like we're doing here at the Daily Parks and Rec Show, expect chaos. That's just like sail in the ocean, expect waves, expect wind, expect you not to know what's coming up. That's just part of the beauty of creating live content. So what we do here at the Daily Parks and Rec Show, we create live content. We're a group of digital artists that are here to tell the story of Parks and Rec. And man, that's my little mascot here. What a great story to tell. Parks and Recreation has got to be one of the best kept employment secrets of the United States of America. If you are looking for fulfillment, if you are looking for meaning and purpose and giving back to your community, creating after school programs for little kids from kindergarten all the way through high school, for them to have a safe place while their single mom or their struggling family is working hard to put food on the table. These kids have a really good place in after school care. Also, they have great summer programs where kids can learn to work as a team in sports, learn how to swim, which is a life-saving skill set. If you're an elderly person and you're looking to have some connection in a community and y'all can meet up. And so there's a lot of great elderly programs, senior care, older adult, usually starting at age 50 all the way till however long you're here with us. They have a program for you. They'll come pick you up. All the way to if you like beautifying your city, if you like taking care of 200, 300, 400-year-old oak trees and groves and natural waterways that flow through the city and the park, creating trails, creating different ways to use lakes and facilities that the community can use, whether it's a community center or anything like that. If building and investing in your city is what you want to be in charge of, these park and rec directors are essentially in charge of multi-million-dollar budgets and over tens and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of assets that have been handed to them after generations of directors and Parks and Rec professionals have been stewards of this. And here you're coming in as like the seventh or the eighth Park and Rec director after 100 years of these park systems being in operation. And you just kind of take the torch for a decade or so. And you get to leave an impact on your local community. So the fulfillment that these people get from doing their job is why their turnover rate in this industry is so low. I can't tell you how many Parks and Rec directors are sitting on top of 10, 20, 30 years in the industry and replace somebody that was here for 10, 20, 30 years. And so why are they staying? I mean, we all know government employees, especially at the local municipal level, where it's just like your little town government, your city government. They're not the highest paid employees. I mean, they're professionals. They have college degrees and many of them masters and doctors and experience and skill sets and leadership skills. So they are paid um, accordingly, and they have good benefits, but it's more than that because when you just grind it out for the highest paycheck, it grinds you back, it grinds you down. And if you're not getting a lot of fulfillment, it's 100% of the benefit from that job is um, just the paycheck. So imagine if all the reward, 100% of the reward from your job was just the check for that extra 10% bonus. And then other rewards might come from you having that extra money. But at some point, 8, 10 hours a day, 4, 5, 6 days a week just wears you down because 60 hours of your life is dedicated to something that you just don't find a lot of fulfillment in. I mean, the only fulfillment you get is a piece of paper, and that can feel that can leave you feeling hollow, empty, shallow. Like surely there's something I can dedicate my life to that also pays me enough, and I'm giving back to the community, and I'm feeling meaning. Like I'm making a difference in kids' lives. I'm making a difference in um, an elderly community's life. I'm making a difference in the family's life, and I'm beautifying my city and I'm hosting, you know, huge events that are typically the flagship events of any city. So most of the flagship events of any city are run by the Parks and Rec department, and these can be like 4 to 8 annual events, and many of them have like 10,000 attendance, 20,000 attendance, 100,000 attendance to the Fourth of July party, the Christmas parade, the farmers market that shows up every week. This is something that you can imagine that when you show up every day, how fulfilling it is to just see the work you're doing, to see the lifeblood of your community, um, to create those common spaces that are where people choose to spend their time with their loved ones when they finally get a break to stop work or to stop whatever. Let's go to the park. Let's have a picnic. Let's take the kids to the park. Let's get our shoes on and go running. Let's go to the little yoga pop-up thing that happens in the middle of parks nowadays. Let's go for that neighborhood, run where running clubs are popping up all over parks departments. I belong to one that is in New Orleans every Saturday morning as a run club. I love it. 8 a.m. and it just ballooned up to like, 600, 700 people showing up. It was just a couple of fools running. And now it's all the way up to 600. It's kind of become a problem, but good problem to have. Park usage being abundant is a dream problem that most park and rec directors want. And a lot of these are unscheduled. So there's the problems, and these problems form the leaders. These leaders in Parks and Rec are constantly getting thrown problems that they have to adapt and overcome, figure out. Never seen this before. Um, and it just falls on their table, it falls on their plate to fix. And that creates a really good human. Anybody that can just say, "Hey, I'll figure it out. I know I've never seen it before. I know our department's never dealt with this, but buck stops here. We're going to figure this out and move forward." And they do constantly. And when I say constantly, every day, one or two times a day, they're throwing these curveballs, and they just are so good at dealing with adversity, the challenges of the unknown, and still leading with the same typical resources and manpower that they were given on day one, um, and always asked to do more by their community, by their elected officials. And a lot of these have their own ideas and dreams of what they want to bring to Parks and Rec. So imagine you're a Park and Rec director and you did a really good 4th of July celebration that was kind of the heart of the community and everybody looked forward to it. And then you get a new job and you become the Parks and Rec director for another community and we don't have a 4th of July celebration. And so you want to bring that tradition from your previous city into this new city. And over a couple of years, you build a really strong annual event. And then you can look back when you leave, when you're parting 5, 10 years later, you're like, wow, now that is a major cultural event in this city that I was able to incubate. I was able to start, give birth to, build momentum, and then hand it off to the next director as part of the culture of this city. And this is what they get to do all the time. And I can see the fulfillment in their just in their speech and how this is all they would ever do, and they love to give back. This is a very when you talk about the public servants, and, we think of, politicians or people in that work for municipal government and stuff like that as public servants, but I think the Parks and Rec people, along with a lot of the other local city government, those that local governments really are in public service, and the very forward-facing ones are the ones in Parks and Rec. I mean, I forget which one of my guests said that when you go to Parks and Rec, you're usually there to have a good time, to relax. You're happy to be on the city property, to approach the city, to talk to a Parks and Rec professional, whether it be somebody running the aquatic center, even a little high school at a concession stand. It's like this is a good time in your life. Unfortunately, a lot of the other city services and municipal government services, if it's like a fireman or a policeman or you're taking out permits, it's not the funnest experience when you're dealing with other parts of the city government. But when it comes to Park and Rec, you're typically having a good time. You're spending time with your family. You're coaching. You're learning. You're doing stuff like that. And so this is the 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 part of city government that you touch where it's a feel good thing, and so the Parks and Rec people get to be a part of their community when they're at their best, not at their worst. And there are departments in the city like police and fire, where unfortunately they get to see a lot of the worst sides of the community. In Parks and Recreation, they get to see some of the best sides of you. Now, it doesn't mean that all departments don't have goods and bads, but the Parks and Rec department, you would say, is in charge of the fun of the city, of the culture of the city, of the parades, of the beautification part of the city, of the let's give back part of the city. Let's build something we can all enjoy part of the city. And so great industry. I really want to do our part with the Daily Parks and Rec Show to get the word out among high school and college kids. So if you're a teacher of high school students, and I know of all the different directions that your high schoolers could go. They could be an engineer like myself. They could be an attorney or a doctor. Those are always the two big ones. But let's not forget that purpose and meaning are going to mean the most down the road. You're going to look back at your life 10, 20 years into your career of working for a living where you're going to like, what am I working for? Aside from the paycheck, does my job have meaning? Is it impacting people? Is it leaving a legacy? And if you advise a child to spend 20, 30 years of their life, and you're advising them at an age when they're very malleable and they're very uninformed because they just don't have enough life underneath their feet to give them good context of what you should dedicate your life to, then they may find that they're in a career that's just not bringing a lot of fulfillment, maybe even bringing depression, anxiety, and working hard for that paycheck. And so I think we do have an obligation to push, kids towards a career where they at least consider what other benefits are there to being on this show. I mean, what other benefits are there to being to working at a place of employment? And I think you should consider things like, are you helping other people? Are people, when you do a good job at your work, do families have a better place, stronger place? Do kids have a better after school program that they can be a part of? Is it a safe place? Do the elderly in your community have a rock solid senior program that's just taking care of them emotionally and from a community way? And if you can say yes to some of these things that, like, look, my paycheck's enough, and my benefits are great. But in addition to that, let me tell you what else I get from my job. I get to, and then the Parks and Rec directors can just, and I say directors, it's really everyone in Parks and Rec. I get to, like, come over here. Let me show you what they pay me to do. I get to put on baseball tournaments, and I get to plant trees, and I get to design walking trails, and I get to host festivals, and I get to host, these weekly farmers markets where our community can come meet the farmers and the ranchers and the dairy cow farmers, and they get to know their name, shake their hand, buy stuff straight from, and a lot of that happens on Parks and Rec. And talk about cradle to grave. A lot of the Parks and Rec departments manage the graveyard, so they literally care for you after you're dead, and give a great place for your loved ones to come visit you after you've passed. So I really just wanted to just give a shout out to everybody in Parks and Rec. This really has been an unexpected pleasure to be able to get to know the Parks and Rec community on this level, asking them things like, what is your why? Like, let's dig deep and find out, why are you doing this? Why haven't you quit? I know it's not an easy job. It's like climbing Mount Everest is not fun. People aren't doing it for the fun. They're doing it for the sense of accomplishment. And so solving these difficult problems for your community through Parks and Rec, it's not easy. It's fulfilling. It's giving back. It's nurturing. And if these things are important to you, if your life and your hours that you're logging in every day at work mean more than just your 15, 20, 30 bucks an hour you're getting, if in addition to that pay, you also want to leave a legacy, make a difference, impact your community, care for the little ones, care for the older ones, nurture families, beautify your city. If you get all that plus a paycheck, plus a steady job, plus good benefits, then consider Parks and Recreation as a career path, and just go to one of these events. They have them 60 plus events nationwide every year across the country. Attend one. And if you're in high school, college, great. If you're not, attend one anyway. Go see what it's about. Check it out. You're going to make a lot of good people, and you're going to see why so many people, once they find Parks and Rec as a career path, they don't ever leave, and they want to stay doing this the rest of their life. They love what they do. And one of the best kept job secrets in America till now. We are going to change this. Let me play a little video that Chris made. Man, we're just going to hit all of Chris's videos today. This is one on career paths. So if you're a high school kid, if you're a high school teacher and you want to open kids' minds to other employment opportunities out there, find us on YouTube, go to the playlist section, find the playlist that says career, and play one of these. And then maybe even have a park professional, aquatics manager or superintendent or an assistant director or director come in and just speak a little on the topic. So anyway, let me press play on Chris's video, and then we'll come back.
Your career, your community, your legacy. Welcome to the Daily Parks and Recreation Show. Today, we're diving into one of the most rewarding and impactful career paths out there, parks and recreation. Are you unsure about your career path? Don't worry, we've all been there. But here's a thought. What if you could build a career that combines your love for the outdoors, creativity, and community impact? Did you know colleges like Indiana University, NC State, and Texas A&M offer parks and recreation degree programs? These courses prepare you for exciting careers, from urban park design to event planning and even environmental conservation. Careers in parks and recreation are as diverse as they are impactful. You could become a park manager, ensuring green spaces are accessible and beautiful, a recreation coordinator, organizing community events and sports leagues, an urban planner, designing parks that bring neighborhoods together, or even an environmental specialist, protecting natural resources for future generations. Parks and recreation isn't just a career, it's a way to create lasting change. Whether it's through managing a local park or leading a conservation project, you're making a real difference. And here's the best part. Parks and recreation is for everyone. Whether you love planning, designing, leading, or conserving, there's a role for you in this exciting field. Choosing parks and recreation means choosing a career full of purpose, passion, and possibilities. And you don't have to have all the answers right now. Just take that first step. Ready to get started? Explore programs at universities like Michigan State, Clemson, or the University of Utah. Discover the career that's waiting for you. Are you passionate about the outdoors? Curious about a career that makes a real impact? Or maybe you just love learning how parks and recreation bring communities together? Then it's time to subscribe and follow the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
All right, great job, Chris, for making that video for us. He is one of our full-time video editors that makes video content for us at the Daily Parks and Rec Show. But he can also make a video for you as a way to help fund the work that we do. So if you're a Parks and Rec department and you have a special event that you want to promote, just say a farmer's market, and you're able to go take some short videos or some images, if you can upload them, we'll show you where to upload them. Someone like Chris on our team, or Trixie or Hannah, or any of the number of video editors that work for us, can create you a little 60-second to 2-minute video promoting your farmer's market, promoting your upcoming festival, promoting maybe a big project that you're trying to raise awareness around. If you've got a big park you're trying to design and you're trying to get the neighborhood involved with it, anything like that, or a big sports tournament. And then here we hand you a digital asset that you can put on all your social media, put it on your website, and at two birds with one stone, because the profit from that will go directly back into the Daily Parks and Rec Show, and we'll be able to continue to expand this media company that we're building specifically for parks and recreation. To my knowledge, I have not found a media company dedicated to the niche market of parks and recreation, but we need one, and we're here, and we're going to do this. So thank you so much for the people that have already sponsored us. That is one way we can do it. Another way that you can help support this channel is to hire us to manage your social media. This is an idea we had as we started to grow out our social media platform, and I had to hire 1 and then 2 social media managers to help me manage the growth of the YouTube channel, the Instagram, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, the X account, and there's a lot of software tools that you need. And there's a lot of expertise and know-how that you need. It's going to be very rare that a city is going to have someone on staff that understands how Facebook, the algorithm works, when to post, what to post, also be a graphics designer, also be a video editor, and then have access to at least 5 softwares like CapCut that can help you design the video or the flyers, like Canva that can help you design some of the graphics design, like Metricool, which will allow you to post consistently at the right time and distribute across multiple platforms. There's several tools that, as a social media manager, you just need to do your job. And some of these are like $30 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month. Well, rather than you having to get these 3, 4, 5 softwares that you subscribe to just so that your social media manager can do their job. Then you have to know how to be a social media manager, and maybe your city's not big enough for this to be a full-time job. Really what you need is just someone like what we've created at the Daily Parks and Rec Show. You can have one of our social media managers for just 10 hours a week, and their job is to pull the events and the contents and a lot of the images out of your staff at some tournament or offline or something, and to create posts and create engagement and build your community online so that you can get the word out about what you offer as a city, about an event that you've got coming up that you want to be well attended, about maybe something to be cautious about, or something dangerous, or maybe a new playground ribbon cutting, or anything like that. Um, Today, I hate to say it, but the way we communicate is on these devices with social media, and this is how you get the word out. Gone are the days where we're using flyers and newsletters and handouts and stuff like that. That this is a very inefficient way to communicate. It's very expensive. Moving physical paper across is not nearly as efficient. And then you don't get that constant daily update that you can get through a social media platform where you have the elderly checking in about the senior centers, you have the athletes checking in about their tournaments and practice times, you've got swim team, you've got updates on farmers markets, on festivals. It's a lot to manage. And so having a professional work for you 10 hours a week to gather all this, post it across your social media platform, and help you to manage this, that's what you need. If you need a little bit more, we can expand it out. But I find a part-time person on your staff, and we start as low as $3.99 a month. So it's like $100 a week that you can throw at having a person with all the tools they need to help you communicate to your local community. And we actually discovered that this was how we wanted to fund this channel, because we were having to do this for ourselves. And so it really fits in nicely how we fund it, and how we can work with cities, and how we can help cities do what we are, is basically a media company. And we kind of help you become your own little local media company for your park systems. And so this is kind of how we've decided to grow. Now, there is a third way, and this comes from my background. I used to manufacture LED lights. I used to manufacture explosion-proof lights and street lights, but eventually, after having all these electricians and HVAC and staff, closed all that down, decided to just manufacture this sucker right here, and it replaces your sports arena light on your neighborhood baseball field. And so if you've got these wooden poles and they're good, maybe you get them free from the power company because they kind of work for the city. And you've just got the old lights, and you just need to replace the old lights, and you don't need to replace all of them because you don't have it in your budget. You've just got 5 that are out. We sell these starting at around 850 a piece. And they work across all the voltages, and they can bolt on to just about any surface, or they can slip onto any little pipe that they have up there. And you just buy them, we ship them, you hand them to your handyman that works on staff, or your local electrician, and you say, "Here, I got these lights. You see those 3 that are out? Get the lift." Sometimes people use the firemen to get the lift, or they got the local utilities company that will allow them to use their bucket truck, or they just rent a lift. And I recommend at least do 5 at a time, because that's kind of a day's work for an electrician. At a minimum, you don't want to rent $1,000 a day lift for 1 light. So I would recommend do 5 lights. That way you get to use that expensive lift. Typically you've got to rent like $1,000 lift to get to these 50, 60, 70 foot tall poles. It takes about an hour, hour and a half to take the old fixture down, put this one on, bolt it, and wire it up, turn it on, go to the next one, point it at the same place area that the other one was pointed. And it's super simple. This is a great, very economical solution. And don't think that this is a cheaply made light. This light is a workhorse, 100,000 hour LED light. I designed this myself through my engineering and lighting engineering expertise that I honed over a decade of working in this industry and second generation master electrician. I was the first client of that light. Um, and I just wanted a light that would last and that I could depend on and that would cool. So we only use Meanwell drivers. We only use Cree chips. These are the gold standard when it comes to chips and drivers. They don't go out. I mean, just plain and simple, they don't go out unless it's an act of God, a voltage spike. It gets shot at. In some of the cities, they do get shot at. So, no warranty for bullet holes. Um, this thing's going to last you. If it ever gives you trouble, give us a call. We'll send you a brand new and no questions asked because you're a city, you're a great client, and we want to take care of you. So, what a great warranty that is. Um, so, this is how I've fed my family, semi-retired from this, got into Bitcoin. Of course, if any of you are interested in Bitcoin, which you all should be, you'll all need to get into Bitcoin. I know this is a totally off brand topic, but it's another passion of mine. And I do a nightly show at 9 p.m. about Bitcoin. So if you want to know more, please tune in. Parks and Rec people, you will thank me when your wealth is protected by the strongest digital asset on planet Earth. Anyway, it was with that community I discovered my passion for creating content. I love media companies. I love building them. It's so away from my expertise, but now I'm just like, this is a passion-driven project for me. And of course, I've been passionate about Parks and Rec people, because this has been my client base forever. So this was a way for me to give back to me after I kind of semi-retired. I'm like, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? This is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. I'm going to build a media company for Parks and Recreation to be the voice of Parks and Rec. Now, a few updates. I kind of laid this out a few days ago. I'm going to just say it again, just so we can kind of get it going. This is a 1 hour show starting at noon, 5 days a week. I want to also create 2 other shows that start before the show and after the show, both 1 hour shows. One's going to be focused on maintenance, maintaining anything to do with the Parks and Rec systems. So whether it's grass cutting, field maintenance, irrigation, ball field light maintenance, which these things are maintenance free, so that's kind of cheating. Chemicals, what do you call those? Pool maintenance. There's so many things that maintaining these massive book of facilities every city has. It's just that this is the world of the superintendents. This is your maintenance men. These are your grass cutting crews. And I know I can get some good sponsorship from people that sell the big lawnmowers, or that sell the chemicals that go in your swimming pools, or that sell the playgrounds and how to maintain that kind of stuff. So I should be able to get that show well sponsored, and I shouldn't have any problem getting speakers, both from the superintendents and even the vendors that, of course, want to educate you on how to maintain a lawnmower. And lo and behold, it's their lawnmower they want you to maintain. So I think I can get some good sponsorship for that 11 to 12 show. Then I'll have my show, which is the highlighting the careers and the wisdom and the whys of Park and Rec professionals and directors and assistants, and even the superintendents as well. And then after that, I'm thinking we should do a show around maybe our programming, grant writing, a lot of the topics, maybe even universities. And we could even have a daily show or once a week show around career path and the Young Professionals Network. And so that's kind of my ideas, just throwing it out there. This is kind of what's bubbling underneath the surface while we're growing all of our media outlets that we're putting this content on. This is, I think, how we're going to build out our content library and the kind of content that we want. If you have any, now these are not exclusively my ideas. A lot of this is coming from the community. When I ask the question, what content would you like us to see? What would you like to see us create? And these are some of the answers that we've been given. And so as we expand this out from a 1 hour show once a week, 5 days a week, to a 3 hour show, 15 hours a week, of course, I'm going to have to recruit some people that can help me host this. So I'll be reaching out to some people and friends, maybe even some retired professionals that would like to give back to the community in this way, and they can speak on this at a very high level because this is what they've done for 30 years. So I'll be putting that together. Again, a lot of this depends on the support we get from the community. Right now, the three ways we have is to hire us to make you a video, allow us to put one of our talented social media managers um, working for you 10 hours a week, or buy one of these sports arena lights, 850, great value, guarantee you're going to love it. It's just a workhorse. We take all the money from that, plow it back into the creation of this daily Parks and Rec show and the media company in general. And now we have a voice among high school kids, among college kids, among even the elected officials. And then all of our leaders get a platform to um, talk about what they do, what they've got coming up, and how much this career and this industry means to them. So that's kind of the gist of it all. I'm trying to think if I have any other updates. Tonight I am airing the Bitcoin show from my Bitcoin meetup. So that's a live. It'll be like a 2 or 3 hour show. Oh, we've got our 100th anniversary, 100th episode coming up. I think this is episode 73. So 27 27 episodes later. So I'm thinking probably in about a little over a month, maybe 5 weeks, we're going to do something special. I don't know what, but maybe we'll have like a 2 or 3 hour show, and we'll invite a lot of the past guest speakers to just stop by for 10 minutes, say hello, hop on, maybe even have a little panel discussion, something like that. As a little celebration milestone that we crossed. I know the 100th episode is a big deal for people creating content. It takes a lot of work to just show up, and create those contents, and then create the thumbnails. We got a lot of people working behind the scenes on this. A shout out to all the people working full time for the Daily Parks and Rec show. We've got some part-timers working as well, probably throwing at least 200 man hours a week at this, building out the network, putting on the shows, managing the social media coming out, distributing the content, editing the content. A lot of work goes into this. It's not just me. It's not even close to just me going live 1 hour a day. There's nonstop work. This is what I do full time. I have no other job. This is what I've dedicated my life to, and I've actually got a few other people doing the same. Not to mention the time that the directors and the guests take out of their busy life to come onto the show and give us pull the curtain back and give us a little insight into what it means to work in Parks and Recreation. So thanks everybody so much for allowing me. It's an honor serving this community in this way. It's an honor being the helping to amplify the voices of Parks and Rec, and we're going to keep doing it. So we will be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. I think, 12 noon. And who is our guest? I'm trying to think if we have a guest on Wednesday. Let's see. No, that's next week. No, we don't. But we do have Molly Keys come in on Thursday, and then next Tuesday we have Jamie Sabak, which is highly recommended. She is a little powerhouse, and I love her take on sustainability within our parks community, financial sustainability, and she's got a message that really needs to be heard. If she's open to it, I'd love to have her a couple times on the show, because a tough message to get, but a necessary message that we have to be good stewards of the property and the money and the funding that we have. So can't wait to have her on. And then after her on Wednesday, we have Jason Herbster. And then on Thursday, we have Steve Lawson. And then on Friday, we have Chad Norton. It's going to be a full week next week. The only day I'm missing is actually Monday, which typically I didn't do a show on Mondays. I'll still be here on Monday. I just won't have a guest. Maybe I will by then, but we'll see. All right. We're going to go ahead and close it out with a little ad for you to buy this light. Please buy it. We need you to, so we can fund this show. Keep some gas in the tank here. And I've actually, I tell you the real reason, I've got a couple other designers that I've fallen in love with, but I can't hire another one until I get a little more revenue in the company. So I would love to give them a full-time position here at the Daily Parks and Rec show. So I'm going to need some help from you guys to help me hire them. So please, if you know of anybody that wants a light, needs a video designed, or needs a social media manager on staff, part-time even, please help me get in touch with them so that we can hire 1 or 2 super creative digital artists so that they can help create awesome piece of artwork for the Daily Parks and Rec show and the overall Parks and Rec community. Love you guys. I will see y'all here tomorrow at noon, and y'all have an awesome day. Thanks. Bye.
When you invest in our high-performance LED sports arena lights, you're not just upgrading your facilities, you're helping us illuminate the untold stories of parks and recreation communities. Every purchase directly supports the Daily Parks and Rec Show, a media platform on a mission to celebrate the heart and soul of our local parks and programs. From after-school activities to summer leagues, these spaces shape lives, and their stories deserve to be told. Why your support matters. Capturing community impact. Your contribution helps us assemble a talented team of digital artists, storytellers, and filmmakers to create compelling videos, articles, and short films that spotlight how Parks and Rec programs change lives. Sharing untold stories. From a child's first home run to lifelong friendships forged on the court, we'll document these priceless moments and share them with the world. Inspiring the next generation. By highlighting the joy, inclusivity, and opportunities found in our parks, we foster a deeper appreciation for these vital community spaces. Light up arenas, brighten futures. Your choice to install LED sports arena lights isn't just a smart investment in energy efficiency and performance, it's an investment in stories that deserve to be told. Be part of the story. Take action today. Purchase LED sports arena lights and help us shine a spotlight on the heartwarming stories that define our parks and communities. Contact us now to learn more about our products and how your support fuels the Daily Parks and Rec Show. Together, we'll shine a light on the moments that matter most.